Hi there, welcome back to I Eat, I Read, I Watch, and this one is the 23rd edition of my column highlighting a solo dinner and my reading and watching accompaniments. Don't just eat alone, dine solo. You're worth it, and it's not hard to do. And if you've missed earlier installments, be sure to check my website at celiachandler.com. So today it's about eating grilled halloumi with roasted asparagus and mushroom salad. When you have 3 pounds of asparagus to eat in just 4 days, I'm leaving for a conference, you can't waste any opportunity to eat the stuff. Plus, I love it. Tonight I took a pound of the thinnest, most delicate selection I got from Redbud Farms and popped it in the oven, drizzled with a little olive oil and some salt and pepper. In a separate baking dish, I put in some mushrooms, yes, with olive oil too, and a red pepper. Might as well roast that baby up for a future meal while I'm at it. While these were roasting, I got a hot frying pan ready for slices of halloumi. Don't know halloumi? Well, time you tried it. It's a cheese from the Eastern Mediterranean made of goat and sheep cheese. Its high melting point makes it perfect for grilling. I don't have a grill, so the frying pan will have to do. I overdid the oil in the pan and had to pour some out along with the liquid released by the cheese after a few minutes. Cooking involves adjusting to unexpected circumstances. There's not supposed to be liquid in the pan because the key to halloumi is a little crust. I accomplished this about the time my veg were roasted to perfection. I lined one of my favorite orange Le Creuset pasta bowls with some Boston lettuce, a little shredded cabbage, and dressed it all with oil and vinegar. Funny thing about these bowls, I ordered them online during the pandemic because they were on a super sale. They're also beautiful, and 5 years later I'm still the only one to have enjoyed using them. And I really enjoy them. I digress, as I tend to do when it comes to crockery. I topped the lettuce with a few pieces of cowboy candy, a bonus from my friends at Redbud Farms. They were surprised that I didn't know it, given my farm girl roots. I explained that candied jalapenos were about as far from Huron County as kiwi fruit. We were a grow-your-own peas, carrots, and onions sort of people, with the odd broccoli from the store. Then I added the half the roasted asparagus, some sliced roasted mushrooms, and a few pieces of grilled halloumi. Honestly, really, really good. Prep time, about 20 minutes. Origin, halloumi from Cyprus. The olive oil is from Tunisia, and everything else is from Ontario. Cost, about $15 for 2 meals. Not cheap, but really good. If you've served halloumi, please let me know over on my website at celiachandler.com. So what am I reading? Well, tonight I'm going to tell you about The Art of Memoir by Mary Karr. Full disclosure, for several years already, this book has been on the list of things I should have read. I may have already confessed, though, that these so-called craft books kind of bore me, or have until recently anyway. I prefer actual memoir rather than books on how to write them. That's why Stephen King's book was so good. He put the advice into his life story, like inserting medicine into a piece of brie for your dog. Karr's book, though, has enough bits of brie to make up for the pills. Lines like, "Only the living talk about how they'll die. The dying talk about how they will live." And fantastic descriptions like this one about being in a car in a rainstorm. The rain was orchestral, cymbal crashes on the metal roof, a violin vibrato against the windows. And then there's the useful stuff like Karr's tips on how to deal with writing about other people to avoid lawsuits and hard feelings. So yeah, I get why there's hype about this book. If you're a memoirist and you've been resisting this one, give it a try. Mine's from the library, saves the full-on commitment. Has something been on your list for a while? If so, please add it to the comments on my blog. So finally, what am I watching? Well, it's called Sort of. It's a CBC series about a non-binary millennial who's trying to walk the line between their suburban Pakistani Canadian family expectations and their urban Toronto life as a bartender in a queer bar and a nanny to a family with their own complications. I gather from the shows Netflix sent me from the last few years that its algorithm had me pegged as a non-binary racialized teen. So this is kind of standard watching fare for me. I had to search around CBC Gem though. It either has no algorithm or it's too soon for it to have figured me out. Either way, I highly recommend this show. 3 seasons, 8 episodes per season, 22 minutes per episode. So the commitment overall isn't daunting, and you can polish off 1 or 2 episodes before bed without completely screwing up your sleep. So there's that. But also the storyline is so interesting. The characters are well developed and it's filmed in Toronto, so there's the fun of figuring out where we are, even when it's just a snippet of a shot. Give it a try. I'd strayed from CanCon for many years, but I'm happy to be dabbling in it again. If you've found something worth sharing, please go over to my website and let me know. And be sure to check out previous columns also on my website. Thanks for watching.